Hi, fellow traders. I hope you guys had a great day today. I'm going to share with you my earnings trade from Nike today, in addition to several of the trades that I've taken in the last couple of weeks during the aftermarket earnings period. Now, a lot, especially when I first started trading, the people I was learning from kind of had me believing that pre-market and aftermarket were taboo. You stay away from them. But I found very quickly that pre-market and aftermarket are some very powerful profit opportunities if you understood how they work and you understood how the market worked. So me being a full-time teacher, the best time, the most quiet time I had was aftermarket. Pre-market was okay. The students weren't there yet, but the school was full of other teachers, people calling me, asking me this, asking me that. Walking in my room, it would be distracting, but it was good enough for me to prepare for the 90 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm sorry, the 30 minutes I had from 9:30 to 10 to trade to open during my class break. And lunchtime, how lunchtime trading could be. Plus, it wasn't as it wasn't as busy, but it still was. We still had a school full of teachers and all of that. But the most quiet time was at 4 o'clock because everybody was gone. And even if I had to pick up my kids, I would be back to school before 4 o'clock. And they would be doing their homework or playing on the computer. And I would be sitting there waiting to trade. And I learned how to trade out the market earnings. Now, yes, my strategy has changed. COVID just pretty much killed the mega profits I could make. But there's still pretty good profits here in the aftermarket earnings. So I'm going to show you that today. So let's look at Nike from today. Okay, so what I do, I basically trade now the 5-minute opening range. Before, I was able to do research and have a good edge in predicting the movement when the stock announced. COVID screwed that up. It hasn't even come back yet. I've tried just kind of looking at it and saying this is what I think. It just doesn't trade right. And if it does do it, it'll sell off so much that if I was in, I would have to get out of it. So this is the best strategy, and this is what I've been using for the last couple of years. And it works beautifully. So it puts in the 5-minute announcement candle. This announcement candle is where most of your volatility will be, meaning jumping up and down, moving back and forth. You can see this one moved between $87.50 and $92. That's a pretty big, volatile swing, and this thing could go up and down that whole range in this 5-minute candle. So what I do is I wait, and once it breaks the high, I get in. Now, I did have a little trouble entering. I accidentally added an extra 300 share order. And when I post the recap from today, you'll see me entering this trade live. And kind of what I did, I kind of confused myself because I put in a 500 share order, 200 shares filled immediately, 300 didn't. I sent another order in for 300, it filled. And then a few seconds later, the other 300 from the 500 order share filled. It was crazy, but 800 shares on a $90 stock is not bad. I could still work with that. But, that's what happened here. It's why you see, 2 entries, but normally it's just 1 entry. Hit the first target, it pulled back, and it held a 9. So I added back. I'm like, okay, I'm going to add in. I'm going to look for this move up. Well, it pulled back. and it closed below the 9, and it closed below the range that I used to buy it, the high of this 5-minute candle. But what it didn't do was confirm losing these two levels. It closed below these levels, but this candle failed to make a lower low, which would have confirmed losing these two levels. It didn't do that. So as it bounced and came back through, I added some more, and I was back in full size. And I got my first target here, second target. My third target was 96. This is the 200-day moving average. This was my final target on this trade, because I was looking at the daily chart. I was like, this is probably where this is going to come to, and probably trade sideways or reverse here. So I did put it at 96 just in case it popped through 95. It did, but look, it went up $2 more. It went all the way up to 98 bucks, and then it started pulling back. There was another daily level up here at 98.23, right through here, and it ran to that daily level. 96.46 was a daily level here, which I probably should have gone with, but I respected the daily level more so than anything else, and that's what we got. So I'm very happy with this trade. And just to give you an idea of the profit potential, here's NKE. So with this whole trade, aftermarket trade, 24, 22, 56, and this does not look any more scary or any worse than any of the intraday trades we take. As a matter of fact, some of the intraday trades look even worse. And on top of that, if you noticed as we're looking at some of these, the profit on these trades will sometimes exceed what I made the whole morning. That's why I like earnings trades. And honestly, it's about to get to the point where I'm going to trade the first 30 minutes and then I'm coming back after market earnings. Just to eliminate all the fluff in the middle of the day. But it's a really powerful setting. And if you are a member, you see me trade these every day that we have an opportunity. If not, you can join the party. You can watch me trade these every day. And like I said, the class is going to start next week. And I've got MU highlighted because keep this in mind. This MU was the trade from today, and this was just a continuation from the aftermarket trade from yesterday. So let's take a look at MU yesterday. So MU, here's the announcement candle. Look how wicked it is. So we traded inside this candle for about 15-20 minutes, and then once we got below, it was time to get in. Here's another one of these split entries, and that happens a lot aftermarket, because I may get the mark. If this is dropping really fast, it'll fill some of my order here and the rest of it here. I mean, that's just it. It happens. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to use market orders, and this is sometimes what happens. But this filled, and I got my first target here, and as we started to recover, I closed it out and I decided to flip it long, because I was looking at it bouncing and pulling all the way back. The reason why I did this is because I felt this should be a long, and I was going to buy this, and if we lost a 9, I was going to bail out of it and then get back short again. But it started working, but we stayed rejecting the 20. Then the last candle of the day, it kind of pushed up. So I left this on overnight. So we locked in 12/28/06 on MU on the aftermarket earnings trade, and this didn't move very much. Admittingly, it did not really move very much. So we locked in that, and remember, we locked in 624 this morning. So not shabby, but you don't have to hold overnight. If you want to close it out at night, that's fine. I know all the brokers that I deal with close aftermarket trading at 8 o'clock. I think CMEG started staying open till 5:30 or 6, something like that. They've extended their aftermarket hours because people were requesting it. And so, yeah, if it stays open till 5:30 or 6, by 5:30 you would have gotten this trade. By 5:30 you would have gotten most of the Nike trade. So you can't look for limitations on this. This is real deal. This is the real deal, and we do this every day. And again, here's the MU. This is where we took profit this morning, and this was the last profit target. I was only supposed to take half of the 200 shares I had left, but I put the order in for 200 and it filled, and it turned out to be a good thing because I would have had to stop out back here anyway. But all that turned out just right. But this is what we can do on some of these earnings trades, that if it holds support and we're long, I'll hold it overnight and look for it to push up in the pre-market. I don't like holding shorts overnight, but I will hold longs. So the next trade was FDX. This one I took last week. This was the one from last week. So I got in. This is like the 2-minute window, but when it has a long wick like this, I typically will go with the body. When it has a big wick to the side I'm trading. So here, thing opened up down here. It started pushing up, and I entered and added once we took out the true high and started taking profit. We had a pullback. I added once it broke, took more profit up here, and I did hold 200 shares overnight. But this one, the next day, I think was Friday or Thursday, the bottom fell out, and I actually held it for a couple of days, those 200 shares, and it didn't do anything. So the 200, this is one of the trades where holding the 200 shares overnight didn't really benefit. I didn't make any more profit. Actually, it took some of this profit away. So if I had just locked in the profit I made this night, I probably would have made $2,800 on this trade and just locked it in overnight. And again, you can see I make more money aftermarket than I do intraday. It's the opportunity, and the movements are bigger. The opportunities are bigger. Now, yeah, I could make this kind of money intraday, but I'd have to size up. And why risk it? If you don't have to, why risk it? So that was FDX. Now here's one, and this is a prime example of what can happen when you don't follow the rules. On this one, I didn't follow the rules. I actually bought anticipating a bounce. I bought anticipating a bounce. There's nothing triggering me to enter this. I thought in my mind that this was going to bounce. And I had to leave at 5, like sometimes I have to do, take care of my mom. And this, all of a sudden, we were in the middle of the conference call and the bottom fell out. Well, I'm driving down the road. I'm not seeing this until my alarm starts going off. Ding, 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 ding on my phone. And I have to pull over and log into my laptop and bail out of this. But this is what happens if you don't do what you're supposed to. Now, had I done what I was supposed to, guess what? I'd have got about a $3.50 move. Beautiful trade. But this is not the strategy's fault. This is the trader's fault. This is Ed, the jackass, talking horse, whoever you want to call, that's his fault. Because he was a dumbass that thought he knew what was going to happen without listening to the chart. So this is why it's very important. But if you look at all of the trades, they pay for this one mistake I made. And that's what this is all about. Your winners have to pay for your losers. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have losers. Things are going to get way out of hand. Now, if I was here, I would have stopped out right here and flipped it. And I wouldn't have taken this loss. But because I wasn't able to be here, and that's the only danger of aftermarket trading, you have to be present before the stock makes this big move. You have to be present. And, you know, I wasn't. I took a risk, paid for it, and that's that. But that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. I hope it didn't take too long. But again, my class is starting on aftermarket earnings next week. The week after, we'll be doing we'll be restarting the Trader Mindset program. That takes about 3 months. We do that every Thursday. The aftermarket earnings class, I think, is 3 weeks, 3 Tuesdays, and we're starting that next week. So you want to get this before earnings kicks off hot and heavy. And this is where you can make a lot of money. I don't trade futures. I don't trade options. I trade stocks. It's what I've done from day one. And I'm not searching to find my holy grail. I found it. And, you know, I'm trying to help you guys find yours. So you can join me, my lifetime mentoring package. That includes everything. I call it my mentoring package because the most valuable component is the one-on-one mentoring you get. That's going to help you with any problems you may have in your trading. But you only pay this once. I don't do monthly, I don't do quarterly or yearly subscriptions and all of that. That ship is sailed. You make one payment, you invest in yourself for the lifetime of your trading, and that's it. It is not hard for you to get a return on this investment. So if you have any questions, email me at averagejoetrader.org. If you want to sign up before I have to close it, because I have a limited amount of traders I can work with. So I do have to close it when it gets there because, you know, I can't do one-on-one mentoring sessions all day, every day. I have to limit the amount of people so that I'm available to do these one-on-one sessions. So again, if you want to holler at me, ed at averagejoetrader.org. You can find me on all the social media. I'll be around. So you guys have a great evening, and let's finish this week strong.